Good morning, the honorable debaters, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start the debate today, please set your cell phone to silent mode, especially for audio's team. Please evaluate the best statement and rebuttal for each round of English debating. Welcome to the first round of English debating competition with the topic, Children under 14 should not be allowed on social media. On my right side is the affirmative team for this debate, with Venus as the first speaker of 14. Joyce as the second speaker of 14. Julian as the third speaker of 14. Then, on my left side is the negative team for this debate, with Tracy as the first speaker of counting. And as the second speaker of counting. Nancy as the third speaker of counting. Then, I would like to tell the time regulation of this debating competition. In this debate, every speaker makes a 2-minute statement. The timekeeper will knock once at 1 minute, knock twice at 1:30 minutes, knock continuously at 2 minutes to show that the time is over and any further explanation will be penalized. Now, let's welcome the first speaker for 14 to make a statement.
Venus, I agree that children under 14 should not be allowed on social media. According to the 2019 Children's Social Software User Survey report, 72% of social media users identified themselves as relying on the internet, and 61% of them used 3C product until midnight. Faced with a desire for self-identity and external affirmation, children spend a lot of time on social media to manage their social media network, which makes them prone to internet addiction and leads to interpersonal alienation in their real-life circles. Besides, so far, Facebook and Instagram have set age limits and do not allow children under 13 to use them. In a generation which social media is unwilling to take responsibility for the negative effects of children, are we, as family members or siblings, willing to take such risks? Another example, according to a survey conducted by Facebook in 2019, nearly 19% of Taiwanese go to social media once a day, the highest in Asia, but only 57% believe they have the ability to recognize fake messages. A survey conducted by Parenting World in September this year, more than 50,000 questionnaires were collected and found that 46% of junior high school students obtained information through the internet, but nearly half of them felt that the phenomenon of fake news had nothing to do with them. The data show that many children do not have the self-awareness to determine the truth of the information. In order to protect children from being deceived before they have the ability to try out media, children under the age of 14 should not be allowed to use social media.
The statement duration is 1:47. Now, the second speaker of the counting can prepare a rebuttal for 1 minute. Now is the second speaker of counting to make a 1 million rebuttal.
In fact, we found that most of the social media do not have an age limit, only need to have a cell phone number to request an account, such as Line. Since the cell phone number means that parents already believe that children can use the cell phone and social media well. And nowadays, many people will share their reading experience, studying methods, and even various knowledge through social media, allowing more people to gain a lot of different knowledge that can not only help themselves but also help others. And talk about fake news. There are many solutions against fake news. In 2020, Google provides the source application where the AI images can assist the edit ratio news of various regions in Asia to be more effective in the source of images, authenticity, and manipulation of records. In conclusion, fake news are not the reason to stop children using social media.
Now, let's welcome the second speaker for 14 to make a statement.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Joyce. It's our second argument cyberbullying. We believe that young people under the age of 14 should not use social media because they are not mature enough and don't have complete media literacy. So, using social media may cause some negative effects, such as cyberbullying. According to Mr. Su's article on the current situation of cyberbullying among Taiwanese youth, its cause and effects, published in the Chinese Journal of Communication. The more the response rely on the internet, the more they will be affected by it. The more dependent the respondents are on the internet, the more likely they are to become target of bullying. This is our argument.
The statement duration is 54 seconds. Now, the third speaker of counting can prepare a rebuttal for 1 minute. Now is the third speaker of counting to make a 1 minute rebuttal.
Bullying will always exist, not just on the internet. It may seem a little easier to recognize bullies among school-age children. Usually, the children who want action from other students or is accustomed to being the center of action outside of school may display aggressive or bully-type behaviors, so that they can continue to be the focus of others. According to Taiwan Ministry of Education, the research said that the most common types of bullying are racial bullying, and the second common is verbal bullying. To sum up, we can say that bullying is not caused by social media.
I don't agree with your argument.
Now, let's welcome the third speaker for 14 to make a statement.
I'm Julian, and I agree the issue of children under 14 should not be allowed on social media. And my argument is social media will hurt children's physical and mental health. Regardless of children and teenagers, they would be affected by social media. Research from the Royal Society for Public Health in May 2017, which is a charity in the UK. They survived 1,500 young people in 14 to 24 years old for attention status of mind. Research results 91% of young people use social media, and 1/6 teenagers had the problems of anxiety. What's worse, Instagram is the most serious, which has affected sleep and diet, such cause insomnia and FOMO, which is fear of missing out, even suicide. Young people are affected by social media, even so children under 14. For a truth example, a recent girl, Christina, who was just 11 years old, suicide herself. Her family didn't know the reasons why she did that, and her suicide video was free on the internet. Because she joined a social club and the initiate ceremony is imitate suicide. Christina was dead accidentally because of the ridiculous reason. Children can't distinguish the right and the vote.
The statement duration is 1:35. Now, the first speaker of the counting can prepare a rebuttal for 1 minute. Now, is the first speaker of counting to make a 1 minute rebuttal.
According to the data of the Department of Psychiatry of Waldorf Hospital, mental and physical disorders are not only caused by social media, but also by negative emotions, stress, genetics, family, friendships, schoolwork. Mental disorders are almost always polygenic and have been proven to be hereditary. So, as long as there is a history of mental disorders in the families, it will increase the chance of the developing depression or other mental disorders. Therefore, a family history of mental illness increases the likelihood of developing depression or other mental illness. Social media accounts for only a small fraction of this, and all use of social media does not cause many people to have a serious physical or mental health problem.
Now, the first speaker of 14 will make a 1 minute closing statement.
In order to ensure that all children under the age of 14 who do not yet have the ability to distinguish between truth and falsehood and have a strong psychological profile are protected from harm, we agree to prohibit the use of social media by children under the age of 14. This is our conclusion.
Now, let's welcome the first speaker for counting to make a statement.
Good morning, everyone. This is our argument. First, it's allow them to learn to think critically. Twitter, Facebook, IG, and other critical social networks expose kids to important issues and different personalities worldwide. Kids realize that have a voice that didn't have before and do everything from crowdfunding social justice projects to anonymously tweeting positive thoughts. Check out this site that help kids develop their critical thinking. According to the University Minnesota study by Greenhouse in 2008, students who participate in classes using social network sites respond that they learn technical skills and their communication skills, and become more open to new or different perspectives. The same study showed that students also improve their relationships with family members. Harvard Watson conducted a study in 2009 on English speaking students in Japan who use MySpace. He found that using MySpace encouraged creativity and autonomy, as well as face-to-face cooperation among students in the classroom and on social networks, especially among mixed ability language learners. The students showed more support for their classmates and even took up mentoring roles.
The statement duration is 1:35. Now, the second speaker of the protein can prepare a rebuttal for 1 minute. Now is the second speaker of protein to make a 1 minute rebuttal.
First and all, I don't know the age range of the two studies, so I would like to ask what is the age range of the student mentioned in the two studies?
Okay, I answer your question. Both of our studies are about children who are under 14.
Okay, thank you. In my opinion, the benefits of the studies do exist, but we don't believe it is suitable for younger people under the age of 14. For young people under the age of 14, it does more harm than good. For example, face-to-face social skills and school achievement. There is a study found that overall social media can skim information quickly, but young people are unable to use data analysis skills in a planned way. This is my response.
Now, let's welcome the second speaker of counting to make a statement.
My argument is social media strengthens friendships. Studies, including Common Sense Media, Social Media, and Social Lab, talk about how teens view their digital lives, and the Pew Research Center's teens technology, and friendship show that social media helps teens make friends and keep them. Therefore, children can feel a sense of belonging, while heavy social media use can isolate kids. A study conducted by Griffith University and the University of Queen Island in Australia found that although American teens have fewer friends than their historical counterparts, they are less lonely than teens in past decades. They report feeling less isolated and have actually become more socially adept, partly due to increase in technology use. As mental health and well-being say, connecting with extended family and friends and participating in local and global online communities can give your child a sense of connection and belonging. A survey conducted by Pew Research Center, a majority of teens say social media better connects them to their friends' feelings and lives. More than 8 in 10, 83%, social media using teens say social media makes them more connected to information about what is happening in their friends' lives. And 70% said these social platforms better connect them to their friends' feelings. Girls who use social media are more likely than boys to say they are a lot better connected to information about their friends' lives and their friends' feelings thanks to social media.
The statement duration is 1:27. Now, the third speaker of the protein can prepare a rebuttal for 1 minute. Now is the third speaker of protein to make a 1 minute rebuttal.
Okay, I don't agree your statement. Exactly, in this generation, many people make friends on the internet, but the type of communication hides lots of danger. For example, in 2019, the number of reported cases of sexual assault in Taipei is 1,509, and there are 76 cases are from the nation. So do you think the social media to make friends is a good thing? But I think we can wait for the age over 14 years old. So I disagree the issues of children under 14 should not be allowed on social media. I agree with it.
According to the research from Jacob and Forrest in 2011, they found out that for every additional hour spent on social networks, 10 to 15 more minutes were spent in real-life interactions. Access to social networking sites appears to give students greater access to social situations in general.
Now, let's welcome the third speaker for counting to make a statement.
My argument is general support. Whether a kid is interested in an unusual subject that isn't considered cool or is grappling with sensual identity, online acceptance can vindicate a marginalized kid. Suicidal teens can even get immediate access to quality support online. One example occurs on a Minecraft forum on Reddit, when an entire online community used voice conversing software to talk a teen out of his decision to commit suicide. Last but not least, it helps them express their skills. The popularity of fanfiction original stories based on instant material that people write and up-down online groups. How strong the desire for self-expression is. Both producers and performers can satisfy these things through social media.
Digital technology allows kids to share their work with a broader audience and cooperate with third partners. If they're serious, social media can provide critical feedback for kids to hone their crafts.
The statement duration is 1/10. Now, the first speaker of quoting can prepare a rebuttal for 1 minute. Now is the first speaker of quoting to make a 1 minute rebuttal.
Instead of expressing oneself on the internet, we believe that face-to-face communication with people in reality is a more effective way to train self-expression. While social media allows teenagers to express themselves, it also makes them concerned about whether their friends like what they post, how many people like it, how people respond to it, and whether they approve of it. This is not a healthy way of expression. Young people under the age of 14 should train their communicate ability naturally, which means face-to-face, not on social media. We think that express themselves in reality is more important than express themselves on social media.
Now, the first speaker of counting will make a 1 minute closing statement.
This is our conclusion. We believe that there is no harm in allowing children under 14 to use social media. They can not only improve their own judgmental thinking, but also have a clear judgment on their right or wrong of the events. And they will not be affected by others. You can also meet more different friends or social media, open their international horizon and see what different ideas and opinions people from different local culture have. And then increase your thinking ability. What social media can bring to children is to help them obtain more correct information and knowledge, which is why we believe that children under 14 should be allowed to use social media. This is all about our conclusion. Thank you.